One of the most famous passages in the Bible is Luke chapter 10. It's called the parable of the Good Samaritan. It's a story that Jesus tells in response to a smart, moral man who wants to test Jesus. He wants to ask, what does God require of a human being? And Jesus engages with him in a little dialogue and quickly draws out the right answer from the man. What is required of every human is to love God fully and to love your neighbour as yourself. Love God fully, love your neighbour as yourself, Jesus says. Do this and you will live. Of course, that's easier to say than to do. So the man pushes back. Who is my neighbour? He asks of Jesus. He wants to define his neighbour as someone who shares his interests, his politics, his religion, his social status, his ethnicity. If he can do all that, then maybe this is a requirement that he can live up to. But Jesus won't have it. He won't let him water down what the law says, the requirement to love our neighbour. And to make this clear, Jesus tells the man a story, what we call the parable of the Good Samaritan. It's a model of the neighbour love that God requires of every human being. And it's a model of compassion. It's a model of social care and concern that takes risks and crosses borders. In the story, there's a man who is on a journey. He's assaulted by robbers and left for dead by the side of the road. And 3 people pass him by down the road. The first 2 cross the road to get away from him. He's no neighbour to them. They leave him for dead. It's only the 3rd man who stops, filled with compassion, and meets the needs of this man in practical ways. He meets his medical needs by bandaging his wounds. He meets his transportation needs by putting him on his donkey and giving him a lift. He meets his financial needs by paying for his accommodation overnight. And he meets his personal relational needs by staying with him and caring for him personally. When Jesus has told the story, he asks the man who asked the question, which of these 3 people was a neighbour to the injured man? The answer, of course, is obvious, and the man answers correctly, the one who had mercy on him. And Jesus says to him, go and do likewise. One of the things that's central to the work of the Christian church and to the life of Christian faith is social concern, doing good to all, the New Testament says. You can't be a Christian and not care about this sort of work. To be a Christian is to know that you, like the man left for dead on the side of the road, were in need. And someone, Jesus Christ, drew near in compassion, came and saved us. And if this experience of mercy from the Lord Jesus is something that is real, powerful and deep in your own life, then it is absolutely transformative. Mercy from God gives birth to mercy in his people. And when that has happened, the follower of Jesus is someone who is compelled to look on those around them as neighbours to be loved. This experience of God's compassion is what has led people here at St John's Anglican Church in Darlinghurst from the late 1980s, 1987, to start a coffee shop to welcome in people experiencing marginalisation, those experiencing mental health disorders, addictions, sex workers, the transgender community. In 1996, this became the Rough Edges Ministry and St John's Community Services, providing meals and other food assistance, a place to find community, essential skills training, dedicated caseworkers, free legal services, chaplaincy services, and other things as well. When this sort of mercy is shown, dignity is given, lives are changed, and the local community is strengthened and renewed. And all of this happens because peoples whose hearts have been touched by mercy continue to support this work. It's a sacrifice of comfort to sleep rough tonight. It's a sacrifice of time to show up as a regular volunteer, as so many do. It's a sacrifice to give generously and cheerfully as a donor. And my hope and prayer for you as you continue to do this good work is that you experience the truth of what Jesus said. It is more blessed to give than to receive. God bless you.